Guys, I have my first official paid promotion ever. So I need your guys' help. Mystically Made Jewelry.com has beautiful jewelry, very similar to the kind I make. Their rings are at the top of the page. If you want to see their earrings and necklaces, click the shop button at the top and pick earrings or necklaces. Or if you don't see the shop button right away, look for these 3 lines, hit that, and then you should see the shop button, hit that, and then you can pick earrings, rings, or necklaces. And please check them out. Go there now. The link is in the description. You can just click on it. It's also in the first comment. Go there, shop, buy some things. The prices are really low, really affordable. It's quality pieces. And if you don't go there, I'm gonna be really upset. And so you don't want me to be upset. So please go and see. I'm sure you can find a gift for yourself or somebody. Check it out right now and you'll make me very happy. Thank you. Another homemade sea glass video. This is going to be batch 3. There's some videos showing the beginning and the ending of my first 2 batches, and they all came out great. I'm going to attempt what some lady told me she's been doing for years. Oh look, there's a little seashell left in the barrel. Which is, instead of using all the different grit and all the different stuff, we're going to go completely natural, sort of completely natural, and we're going to use just sand. That's it, just sand, and see how the sea glass comes out. Technically, it's not going to be in the ocean. So people are like, you can't call it sea glass. We're mimicking what the ocean does, only we're speeding it up and doing in days what normally takes years and even hundreds of years. So you can get this at Harbor Freight or Amazon for like 65, 70 bucks. This is a real rock tumbler. And this one has a special timer on it. So this one was 89, but if you don't need the special timer, like you can get the cheapy one. It's pretty much the same thing for 65 bucks and just really have fun with it. It comes with all kinds of grit, different stages and directions on how to use it, different grades. And we've been playing around with those, totally ignoring the directions and doing our own thing. Last time I put in all kinds of things. I even put in salt to mimic salt water, as if that would make any difference. I put in pebbles, I put in sand. I got the sand from the dollar store because it's easy. And as far as I know, sand is sand, right? Who knows? Anyway, so here's the barrel. This whole doohickey contraption thingy. Actually, I don't even think that needed to be taken apart, but oh, that's right. I took it apart to get it extra clean. So now we got to put this back together. So this goes like this. Also, sand is super easy because when you dump it out, you don't need to worry about any toxicity or anything. You just basically will drain the water and then dump the wet sand outside. Just dumping wet sand. You're not, as long as you don't dump it on your flowers or somebody else's flowers. Because you can't dump this stuff down your sink. You're gonna kill your pipes. That's the main thing you wanna be careful not to do. So, this is some beautiful glass I got from thrift store vases, all broken up. And again, you gotta be careful. You're getting glass that's really dyed and not just coated. We found out this red glass is not, as cool as it is, it's not dyed all the way through. It's just coated in red. And you can find that by taking since you're already breaking up a bunch of pieces, get a sharp metal tool like some of your cheap pliers will do if you don't mind, and don't cut yourself. I should be wearing gloves right now. I couldn't find my gloves. I wanted to bring you guys the video right now. So dedication over safety, that's my thing. You should not make it your thing. You should do safety first. But in any case, see how I'm scratching this and see how the coating is coming off, and you can see through it now. It's clear. That's clear glass. If you want clear glass, you can get clear glass anywhere, but this is kind of chunkier, so it's nice. But I have tons of, maybe I'll throw some in because I could use some clear glass, but the coating rubs off immediately. Whereas this is real dyed all the way through. You can even feel the difference. When you scratch it, it just slips. It doesn't dig in. And So, and another way you can test, when you have the vase, usually they don't dye the very bottom, so sometimes you can look through the bottom and see that it's clear, so you don't even end up buying it when you don't need it. There's a lot of different kinds of glass cutters you can get, and a lot of different ones were sent to me that I still need to learn how to use. So for now, I'm just going to use these guys because they just kind of nip things. Definitely with these, wear gloves, wear goggles, wear goggles. Little pieces of glass will shoot. Hold it deep, deep inside a trash can when you're cutting it, or other kind of extra safe situation. Okay. When you are finished cutting your glass, check your area. Take a wet paper towel and wipe any possible place. If you find little teeny tiny itty bitty splinters and crumbs of glass, then get more wet paper towels and wipe down everything everywhere, the floor, the table, the fixtures, anything in the vicinity. Because trust me, later on, you don't want to be working and suddenly get a little tiny splinter of glass in your skin, or God forbid, one of your kids or animals comes by. Okay, let's go. Okay, I got these pieces prepared. I cut them as much as I could into kind of teardrop shape, so they'd kind of make a good pendant once they're all smoothed out and rounded out. So let's see. Sometimes this really light blue looks almost see-through, and doesn't look like a big deal, but once it gets frosted, the blue just comes out amazingly. So I tried to get as much of that as I could because I only had a little bit of that vase left. Same with the purple comes out looking really cool. And as much as you can find exotic colors at thrift stores and stuff, you can have a lot of fun. You also want to look for thicker. The thicker, the better. That's why I'm doing this red, even though it's just going to get wiped off and turn out clear. It's pretty heavy, thick glass, whereas just regular beer bottles and stuff, I was doing these before, and they're so thin. I mean, they work, but you want to get them into smaller pieces like this, because generally big pieces that are very thin are going to get cracked in the tumbler, I found. And if they get cracked towards the end of the cycle, they don't have enough time for the new edges to smooth out. So then you know, and they also get cracked in weird ways sometimes that don't make them as functional. So just stuff to think about. That's why I'm saying hit up thrift stores, get those old antique vases that have all kinds of crazy colors and bowls and stuff like that. That's about a third of the way filled. That's about what you want. You put about that much sand. There's a very precise measurement called that. It's spelled T-H-A-T. That much is even more precise. And you fill it with water. They say you can fill it up to, 2/3 of the way up. I'm just doing a little less than halfway, because the more you overfill it, or the more you fill it all the way up to the capacity, the harder the motor runs. And motors don't last forever. Pretty much this, if I ran this constantly, this particular model might run for an entire year before the motor died. So I'm not running it constantly, but I want to kind of save it. So that's about 40-45% from the top. I am going to break my rule and put in a tiny bit of Grit 1, because there is more abrasive, teeny tiny particles in the ocean than just sand. And one of the cool things about natural sea glass is it's not just frosted, but it has like little dings and pock marks and stuff. So I don't know what in nature that comes from, probably some really bigger stones hitting it and whatever, but I'm going to throw in some of these metal nuts, and hopefully that'll give them some good dings and stuff. If you're going to do hardware like this, don't put in like screws or nails, because you don't want the sharp parts to tear up the inside of your rubber barrel, but I think that'll be good. All right, let's close this puppy up. Make sure you have an even, tight seal all the way around. Make sure this part is on tight and evenly. You can even tap it a little bit with something gently. And then get this guy nice and tight. Make sure it's threaded correctly, because you don't want your stuff leaking out, and you don't want the barrel to roll unevenly either. That can really mess up the motor. All right. There she is. Whoa, didn't expect her to turn on immediately like that. So power, I'm going to pause it. We're going to put it in for 7 days. Now you can get Sea Glass to work in 2 days as far as just smoothing out the edges. But what I found is if you give it a few more days, you really get even smoother edges and you get nice, better frosting over the surface. And I'm telling you, this lady told me she's been doing this for years with just sand, 7 days straight. So we're going to do that. I have 3 speeds on this too. We're going to do the highest speed, and let's see what happens. This might be the most aggressive batch we've done yet, but I'm looking to have some fun. So there it goes. You want to put it in a place in your house that's far away from where you live and sleep as far as possible, and then make like a cardboard box or a wooden box and pad it with a lot of foam, not touching it. You don't want to mess up the motor or anything. You let it breathe, but like around it, build some pillows or foam inside the box and cover up the box, and that way you'll find this isn't even that loud. But you'll find that if you put a lot of foam and stuff, it's not going to bother you. You're not going to hear it. When you walk in the room and get close to it, if you're like me, it's going to sound like it's raining outside. It's going to have this weird sound like rain hitting this sidewalk. So that's kind of interesting. I found myself, I kept checking out the window like, oh, it's raining. Anyway, have fun with this, you guys, and look for the video. Look in the date this video was dropped. If this video was dropped more than 7 days ago, I should have the finished video where I should take out the pieces and show you how they came out. So let's have a lot of fun. Yay. Speed 3, 7 days. Oh, we can do more days. Let's do 7 days. And go. Check out Mystically Made Jewelry. Do it right now. Yay!